these franchises, basically, that would be a mistake, in my opinion.
You said that any type of loss financially that is material is inferior to the financial standard.
Well, relatively speaking, you know, if we collect 400 million a month, or we were 5 billion pesos monthly, and we only lose net losses of 20 million, that's really immaterial in terms of losses, basically, from an accounting standpoint. Yes.
That would relate to the earlier question. I think he was relating it to a past, but it was due to mismanagement or irregularity. And if so, is there still any plan to recover any of those losses, no matter how immaterial or how little they are?
That's a good question. There is no allowance for bad debt in Beneko. We collect everything. The government has to tell us to write off something. And what we write off are very small amounts from the LCOs that are unconnectable, 10 years old, fairly small amount. But I am required to keep these receivables in my books until I'm allowed to write it off. So like a private corporation, you know, every year in my budget, I allocate 1 or 2% for allowance for bad debt, which means I can write it off without wasting my time legally to try and collect it. Here in Beneko, as a government entity, there is no allowance for bad debt. You have to collect everything. So you're correct. We are supposed to, we are required to collect everything. Basically. GM, you want that?
Yeah, if I may add, maybe you're referring to what happened in the past, right? Yes. Actually, ganito. The marching order of our board is to collect, to run after this everything. Kaya lang, meron tayong big issues sa liga. That's why we are studying the legality of all those things. Especially when this lately may lumabas sa news, diba? That said, well, it's personal to me kasi the appointment of the NAIA JM10 was not invited. Kaya lang ito kasi hindi pa binigyan ng entry of judgment na tinatawag nila kasi nag-appeal yung lawyer ng government or NAIA for that matter. So until such time that this will be resolved with finality, that is where Beneko will get its plan. But from the very beginning, in fairness to the task force board especially, sabi nila, kunin natin ito by government.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Ate Galu. Ang susunod po magtatanong, si
Presently, the Army.
Okay, the Army Hearing po. Ate GM, good afternoon. Frustrated ka na nag-alipin na under Peter King, hindi Beneko. Although maawakan natin yung reason na kapunta para sa area, may agad mabalik na disrupting sa kayo kuryente, pero kung nalilay taga-tuba or under Peter King, nga as lang na hindi ka naman okay man, ang ma-sure no, baka ba something or at the changes, hindi na yung materials kung saan yung katakay na nagkakama madalan or put at this right kuryente na sir.
Yes, before feeder 8, we have feeder 13.
Yes, sir.
So, medyo reklamo ni feeder 13, so we need something about it. It's not that masama ang feeder 13, but we just introduce some improvements. Unfortunately, again, for Beneko, for whatever reasons, we do not know what happened in feeder 8. Kasi admittedly, inmadon the introduction of feeder 8. These are introductions of things that are beyond the control of Beneko. Kaya po sa tuko namin at atingin mako na bilbil, it's a little bit hard to explain why can a simple bird trip the system. Mr. Gatis, we just would like to assure the kanya medical figure 8 na we're doing something, we're doing a lot of studies, bakit after the problematic figure 13, for whatever reasons, lumipat sa figure 8. Ganito kasi, yung figure 8 kasi is one of the figures is practically ang pinakamalaking feeder na isa compared to all the other feeders in Baguio. Yung isang pinakamalaki. So expected kasi agad na yung excuses. But being one of the largest feeder, not to mention yung dinaanan niyang rota, you expect na nagkakaroon siya ng commitments in preparing probably outages and one-time outages. But again, I'd like to repeat, I'm not making excuses, but this will serve as a challenge for Beneco to further and look solutions for this matter. So kami sa Beneco, kami ang unang ayaw na may outage. But given the physical construction of our lines, meron talaga na nangyayari outage. So again, I repeat, we are making excuses, but we would like to assure our consumers that we are doing a lot of efforts to further improve.
So, hindi naman important sa nag-iba yung quality ng mga supplies po ng Beneco as according to them, sir?
Hindi, kasi yung linya naman natin na parehas lang naman yan eh. So, yung supplier natin dumadaan naman sa isang linya din yan eh. So, no?
Materials, I mean.
Materials, hindi naman dahil we're ensuring that meron tayo quality materials. In fact, ewan ko naman ito kanina, recently, Beneco passed the ISO audit, and one of the ISO audit looks into how you process, how you evaluate, how you take a look at the quality of your services. So we'd like to believe na andun pa rin. It's just unfortunate na nagkaroon lang ng series of outages here.
Sir,
Depende kay configuration ni kalsada tayo, configuration ni linya, PJ 13 kami, natakalang at dati existing lines there for figure 8 kami, given the nature kay roadmap tayo dyan, and then the location of the substations tayo, medyo a little bit challenging, but it can be done.
Thank you, sir. Sir, other issue na nakamat ko din dyan ay can expound more on that engineer kasi we got an info from the LGUs or barangay na until now, kawansapay, naigdid katakwa ng royalty after announcing the GNM operation, hindi naman masok at pinipaprisyon.
Naman siya, 1.8 na event. In fact, dati in advance may hindi pa ilang eh. Nag-delay lang siguro nalpas ng 2022. Kasi di ba, pagkatay na the energy, the kilowatt hour, we were not able to convert it into cash. But as I reported earlier, we were able to get down the home signal from the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines and the IMAP operating the West End. So, J-Royalty at that advance may lapas start beginning with 2022 na delay kasi nga wala pa tayo cash available. But all the other benefits like rentals, ito tayo would take up. So, yun lang, na-delay lang ang account close intended. Even before the power plant came into operation, dati hindi
Kaagong na di dyan ay manasok yan makasama mga pagkabaran pa hindi na Beneco consumers. Kumusta rin yung permits about the operation na, sir?
I got the potential to operate kami ngayon. In fact, I reviewed the generation and as of today, we were able to generate about 6 million kilowatt hours as of today. And in the last 3 months, na-maximize na yun kasi panahin yung tungtulo eh. So, napataray ko yung plant at full operation. Yun nga lang, yung pagpagamit is it's not converted into cash. And yung report ko kanina, last week lang, we got the go signal, sabi nila, effective October 1 actually. We are now recognizing the generation of money. So
From what agency, sir?
Si IMAC.
Okay.
So, isang permit na lang yung manggagaling kay Energy Regulatory Commission to complete the cycle. So, but sabi ni IMAC, effective October 1, ibig sabihin, ang nagbasa namin doon, lahat ng generation na si Manasok, beginning October 1, babayaran na nila. Yun lang, actually, pag nakuha na namin yun, babalikan natin yung previous generation kasi sayang din yun eh. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, when we started operating the Manasok, we were able to generate until today about 16-15 million kilowatt hours, less the 6 million generate, or wag na lang pag-less. Ibig sabihin, kasi October 1 yung sinasabi umpisa. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong makakabulin na 15 million kilowatt hours na previous generation ni Manasok. And if you multiply this by the rate that they're supposed to pay, which is actually 585, this is more or less about 92 million pesos. So malaking bagay ito pag nahapon po natin ito, especially in operations of Pinayo.
Kung palapala PJERC, anong reason at tumagal yung permit na hinihintay natin pang ERC, sir?
Ito yung tinatawag natin bureaucratic process eh. Ang daming kukunin mo sa isang opisina na permit na yun yung kailangan ng isang opisina. So nagkataon lang na ganun yung naging proseso. And it's beyond our control how these government agencies, we're not blaming them because there is a process also that they have to follow. And for Pineco, this is a learning curve for us. This is new to us. So ang dami na mga pinag-aralan din paano mapabilis. But eventually, sabi ko nga, hinihintay na lang natin yung go signal ng ERC. So we cannot say na parang nagtagal kay ERC kasi we need to get other documents from other government agencies.
So, kumusta mo itibayan ng Pineco, EJ loan for that project, sir?
Pineco is, hindi naman pa siya nag-default in terms of paying kaya organization kayo. Ito lang ang catch niyan. Dahil hindi pa nag-generate si Mini Hydro, kinukuha ni Pineco doon sa internally generated fund niya coming from our DSM charges, yung binabayaran natin kuryente. So practically parang si Pineco as a distribution utility, sinusubsidize niya si Manasok as a generating company. So once na mag-full commercial operation si Manasok, babayaran niya yung ginastos ni Pineco as a distribution utility. So ngayon, imbis na gamitin ni Pineco yung sum of its internally generated fund for the distribution utility, ginagamit na ito sa generation facility. So yun lang yung parang kunting drawback niya. But this is temporary. Eventually, pag nag-full commercial operation si Manasok, lahat ng pera na yun, babalikan ni Pineco and hopefully this can be used to further